we have among us the chief guest for the valedictory function, Shri Piyush Goyal ji, Honorable Minister of Commerce and Industry. Big round of applause for the Honorable Minister. A big round of applause. Namaskar everyone. Before the start of the program, I'd like to request everybody to please stand up for the national anthem of India.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
I'll request everybody to please keep standing. A tragedy struck India on 22nd of April wherein innocent lives were lost due to terrorist attack. Our sympathies, empathies with their families. We'd like to observe a moment of silence for them. 1 minute silence. Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you. Namaskar, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all to this valedictory ceremony of World Health Summit Regional Meeting 2025, hosted by NIMS University, Jaipur, and World Health Summit Academic Alliance in this beautiful Bharat Mandapam of New Delhi. To start the ceremony, I'd like to invite Professor Dr. Balveer S. Tomar sir, the founder and chairperson of NIMS University, Jaipur, the international president of World Health Summit, and the organizing chairperson of World Health Summit Regional Meeting 2025.
Good evening. Namaste. Distinguished guests, esteemed delegates, member of the World Health Summit Academic Alliance, colleagues, friends, and partner in health. It is a great honor and privilege to see you all to the World Health Summit Regional Meeting 2025 being held for the first time ever in India at the iconic Bharat Mandapam in the heart of our national capital, New Delhi. We are deeply honored by the presence and support of the many distinguished dignitaries and global leaders. I would also like to thank our policy partners, WHO Zero and UNICEF, and co-organizer Asian Development Bank and all other 90+ partners. Special thanks to Professor Axel Priest, President, World Health Summit, Germany, and WHS Alliance, and Ashoka University. Well, my colleagues, friends, ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived from 54+ countries across the globe. Your presence inspired confidence in our global efforts and added great strength in this summit and reaffirmed the spirit of global solidarity and partnership that defines our collective mission to build a healthier, more equitable and resilient world for all. Well, in the actual meaning, I would say this is a global meeting in regional flavor. Now, we are especially grateful to the Government of India under the dynamic leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, able guidance of Honorable Home Minister Shri Amit Shah ji, and Honorable Health Minister Shri J.P. Nadda Sahab for the extraordinary strides India has made in transforming healthcare delivery, infrastructure and access. Especially because of our beloved Prime Minister and his dynamic leadership, India is a global leader, and our Prime Minister Modi ji, Honorable, is our Vishwa Guru. And I want to specially mention this event could not have been possible without blessing of Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji. And now, would like to welcome our very dynamic young leader, Shri Piyush Goyal ji, Honorable Union Minister of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, Chief Guest of Valedictory ceremony. Thank you, sir. Please clap. For sharing your valuable time despite of your very busy schedule. This regional meeting stands as a milestone not just for the World Health Summit, but for India's leadership in global health. I am proud to share that Summit is having more than 5,000 plus delegates who participated in over 160 sessions across 3 transformative days with stellar lineup of more than 950 speakers. We contributed over 2,404 hours of rich scientific, policy, and practical dialogue. This diversity is not only in the content, but also in the composition. 51% of our participants are women, highlighting our unwavering commitment to gender equality and women's empowerment, which is the mission of our Honorable Modi ji. Further, over 35% of attendees are youth, reinforced that this summit also a vibrant platform for next generation leadership and innovation. The World Health Summit is not just a conference, it is a global movement. Well, a shining example of India's commitment under the dynamic leadership of Modi ji is Pradhan Mantri Ayushman Bharat Yojana, and now it is also the portability. Well, I am proudly say this is the world's largest public funded health insurance program in which provision of free, cashless, free treatment of up to the 5 lakhs per family per year to millions of Indian citizens. Indian population is, you can know, 1.4 billion. You can imagine. This is our Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji. It is just not a scheme. Prime Minister Ayushman Bharat Yojana is not a scheme. It is a movement towards dignity, protection, and care of Indian household. Thank you, Modi ji. The further important point is that the theme of this global meeting is scaling access to ensure health equity. It is also aligning with the Pradhan Mantri Ayushman Bharat Yojana, जिसके तहत हमारे आदरणीय मोदी जी कहते हैं, चाहते हैं, हो रहा है, भारत के हर नागरिक को कैशलेस स्वास्थ्य सेवा पूरे भारत में दी जा रही है. धन्यवाद मोदी जी. Well, from climate and planetary health to universal health coverage, mental health, digital transformation, One Health, maternal and child health, animal health, and emergency preparedness. This covered all dimensions of the health ecosystem. Our goal is clear: to shift the needle from commitment to action, from ideas to implementation. Well, let's also extend my deepest appreciation to World Health Summit team, our host partners, session organizers, content leaders, volunteers, and every hand behind the scenes who made this event a reality. This summit is not only a space of reflection, but also a launch pad for transformation that let our ideas travel across borders, our partnership grow deeper, and our commitments translate into impact. Once again, thanks for joining World Health Summit Regional Meeting 2025. Together, we will craft a future where health is a universal promise, powered by science and guided by equity. एक लाइन में कहना चाहूंगा भारत मंडपम के लिए कि मैं विश्व के सारे विकसित देशों में सारे विकसित देशों में मैं कई बार मैंने मैनी टाइम ट्रेवल किया है. मैंने भारत मंडपम जैसा आइकॉनिक, भव्य, सुंदर एंड सुपर वर्ल्ड क्लास मेंटेनेंस कहीं नहीं देखी. इसके लिए मैं डॉक्टर तोमर, निम्स यूनिवर्सिटी, वर्ल्ड हेल्थ समिट, everybody is very much thankful to our Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji. And lastly, the take-home message, my friends, is here. What? Health is a right. Health is a foundation of peace, prosperity, and progress. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Professor Tomar. Indeed, this regional meet is a confluence of intellectual capital from across the world. Now is the time to invite Professor Axel Priest, the President of World Health Summit Germany, for his address. Thank you.
Namaste. Dear Honorable Minister Goyal, I think it's especially fitting that the Minister for Economy and Commerce is here, despite this being a health conference, because it's very often overlooked how relevant health is for not only for well-being, but also for prosperity, as our Chairman, Professor Tomar, just said. So it's very necessary for all of us in the health sector to convey the message that health is a human right and is a necessity for a good living, but it's also the basis of a good economy. It's basis for individual prosperity, for good life, also for export and import and international exchange. So I value very much that you took your time coming here. Give a big hand to the Minister. Dear Professor Balvir, Tomar, I have the privilege to call him by his first name, sorry, but he did an outstanding job with his entire team. We were happy to, and all of you were happy to get into contact with many of his co-workers, Deepak obviously, but many, I won't start naming them because it would take you too long. I had a very long time signing all the students, volunteers, entry cards, but it was a pleasure. I did it with real pleasure. And I think you should take this energy from here. It was certainly a right decision to go to India this time. But, yeah. India and the region, the surrounding countries, but India and the region has developed an enormous power, an enormous dynamic, and we all, I think, when we went to the sessions, we did learn a lot about what is happening on the ground, how strong the emphasis is to improve the real on-the-ground health situation. And this power, these achievements, these innovations also come with responsibility. And I think by hosting this conference, Professor Tomar and NIMS and Ashoka and Maha as co-hosts have taken this responsibility. And as Professor Tomar said, it's a global conference with a very strong regional flavor. So we had the chance to go to the sessions and learned really a lot. And what we learned specifically is that the sessions were more or less all, at least the sessions where I could go, were addressing the topic scaling access to health and making health more equitable. That's a real challenge. It's not so difficult to develop something in the lab, which is theoretically good, but to bring it to everyone, that's a real challenge. And there, I think the people here had a lot to give to the rest of the world, and I hope this energy will be used to propel it even further. So please, take the energy from here, take a little bit of rest, especially those who organized it, but after you can breathe again, take the energy, keep the energy, use it for new projects, develop it, bring it to India and bring it to the world. With that, I wish you a very, very good evening, and I'm happy that I could be here, and I hope you also had a good meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Excel. It has been a pleasure to have you here. And indeed, you are a superstar among our students. एक बार जोरदार तालियां बजाइए. Signing all the IDs. Busy whole day for 3 days. Great. And thanks a lot. Now is the time to invite Dr. Sanjay Patanshetty, the Director of School of Public Health at NIMS University, to summarize what has happened in last 3 days. Dr. Patanshetty, please.
Hello everyone, good evening. There's a nice saying, you will know your real speed when tiger chases you. So, but we did something really different. We said, it's life, you don't have to figure it out, just climb on the beast and ride. So we set this event a benchmark very clearly. Universities are generally good in evidence generation because we do research. We evidence dissemination because we do education. But this summit will set a tone very clearly that the role of university is beyond education and research. We should get involved in evidence translation, policy, practice, politics. I think this event had excellent sessions from climate, digital, health diplomacy, health cooperation, health and peace, women and children health, so on and so forth. I will not summarize everything. It's very clearly articulated by our chairman and the president of the World Health Summit. So this is a beginning, and the journey continues. And the next event, if it happens in India, will be 10 times impactful than this. Thank you so much for all the leaders who supported us, partners, and every student, media, everybody who is here. Thank you.
That was Dr. Pathan Shetty, one of the pillars behind WHS. Now it's my pleasure to invite Dr. Anurag Agarwal, the Dean of School of Biosciences from Ashoka University, the co-host of WHS Regional Meeting 2025.
Honorable Minister, Shri Piyush Goyal ji, Axel Priest ji, Netumar ji. It has been a pleasure for Ashoka University to be associated with WHS and NIMS in co-organizing this great event. As chair of the scientific committee, when we were deliberating what the topic should be, we thought, what better than scaling access? What India has done through digital transformation, whether it be UPI, Aadhaar, taking things to billion-plus scale at unprecedented lowering of costs, is something it must do for the global south as well. In fact, today we don't want to call it global south, it's a global majority. And the global majority needs technological leadership that is relevant and coming from the people. It has been absolute pleasure to work with the NIMS team led by Sanjay, who really put together an outstanding program. The measure of a conference is ultimately never by the thousands of people who came. It's about the learnings imparted. Every single person who I have met, people who have been to the best conferences around the world, have complimented the choice of topics, the speakers, and very importantly, the engagement of an audience that comprised 1/3 young people. Young people, their energy and their ability to transform this world is what India is going to contribute tomorrow. And I'm so glad we focused on that. Thank you all so much, and I look forward to continue to collaborate with all of you.
Thank you, Dr. Agarwal, hosts and co-hosts of WHS. A big round of applause for everybody here. And now is the time to invite the chief guest of this valedictory function, Shri Piyush Goyal ji, Honorable Commerce and Industry Minister of Government of India. It's a pleasure to have you, sir. It's a pleasure and a privilege to have you here with us on this valedictory, sir. A big round of applause, जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत श्री पीयूष गोयल जी साहब का.
Thank you very much. Dr. Axel Price, the President of the World Health Summit, Professor Dr. Balveer Tomar, International President of the World Health Summit, Dr. Sanjay Prathan Shetty, Professor Anurag Agarwal, all the very distinguished friends who have come from across the world, particularly friends from the WHS Academic Alliance, which is doing outstanding service in the field of creating a global awareness and deeper understanding amongst nations about public policy related to health, one of the most critical elements in all our lives. Friends from other countries all the academic leaders from different universities in India and beyond, all the young friends, students who have joined this event, ladies and gentlemen. I think Dr. Price was right. This is a subject which doesn't directly relate to me, but I do acknowledge that all of us are equally concerned, equally responsible, equally caring about what happens to the objective, and in a way this is one of the sustainable development goals that was established with the collective vision of all the world leaders, how we can ensure access to good health care for every citizen of the world. And I'm delighted that you chose for your first regional meeting being held in Asia this theme, as Anurag ji just mentioned. Access to healthcare is something that we have been very, very conscious of in India. And the last few years have seen a tremendous growth in our own journey towards better quality of healthcare and a larger frame in which we can deliver healthcare to the citizens of India. In fact, our very theme at the G20 summit, which we hosted at this very venue 2 years ago, was One Earth, One Family, One Future. And India has always looked upon all the citizens of the world as our family members. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam in Sanskrit. And Sanskrit is a language the Germans have maintained and preserved over the years and developed in Sanskrit. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the world is one family, has been the ethos of India for centuries. And we believe that it's only by placing humanity first, caring for each other, that we can build a safer, healthier, and more compassionate world for all of us to live in. India over the last few years has also made a lot of friends across the world as the first responder in the event of any health emergency or any disaster that any nation may face. In fact, many of us, when we look back at the COVID period, we found that not many nations were willing to look beyond their own needs, their own country, their own countrymen. Many countries put export controls with the objective of retaining all the available medicines or needs, including food grains, for their own people. Not necessarily with the objective of ensuring a fair and equitable distribution across the world. India, on the contrary, through our Vaccine Maitri program, we ensured that nearly 300 million vaccine doses went to the poorest countries, the less developed countries, the Pacific Island countries, the Caribbean countries, small islands, many African countries, those who could not have afforded the $30 and $20 vaccines that were otherwise available in the market. We put an export control on vaccines or export of vaccines, not to deprive the rest of the world of the vaccines we were producing, but to ensure that those who need it the most, those who cannot afford it, and in most cases, most of this 300 million went free of charge to the less developed countries. Our idea was India should be a support to the most deserving, to the marginalized, and those who would otherwise be left behind. In the same breath, we also put export controls on medicines, on the pharmaceutical products that we had available with us. Not that there were too many available medicines or there was any scientific evidence to show that any medicine was really making an impact. But even paracetamol, a simple thing like paracetamol, what we often use as crocin, even that was found to be the most effective medicine to fight against COVID and the high fever associated with it. At one point of time, I think hydrochloroquine was also found to possibly have an impact, but later on scientific evidence was not available to show that that was really effective. But at different points of time, medicines that were required during COVID, we put a restriction, not to deprive any country of those medicines, but to ensure that traders or companies which had the financial muscle, which had the capacity, the muscle to hoard those medicines, the ability to buy off all these medicines in the market, maybe even take it to other countries and keep them to be able to be sold at high prices, which would have deprived the less developed nations, the poorer nations, from these medicines. That could have been a possible scenario which we foresaw, and therefore put the export restriction and ensured the equitable distribution of medicines for all the countries, rich or poor, and at cost, at affordable prices, not at supernatural profits, which many countries or companies had at that point of time made out of the COVID crisis. I remember, since you come from Germany, Professor, a small incident that may interest some of the friends sitting in the room and you and your team. The advisor to Chancellor Merkel, who had become a friend over the years that we have worked together, he was also an important person, an important voice in the administration there. He called me up one day and he said the German government would like to give you a grant, give India a grant of, I think it was 35 or 25, I think more like 35 million euros. The German government would like to give you a grant. I said, but I don't look after that subject, Hans. That subject is looked after by finance. So I suggest you talk to finance and discuss whatever grant you want to give. It's very nice of you to wish to support India with a grant. He said, no, along with that, we would also like to give you some X number of ventilators or something. He said, I said, that's very gracious of you. If you can send me the details, I'll have to just check it out whether that is suitable for the Indian context. I'll have to talk to the health ministry. Once they clear it, I'll get back to you and we'll be happy to receive those ventilators to support our own health needs. And he said, no, that's not all. We also want to give you a 200 million euro low cost or probably no interest bearing loan, like almost like a grant, to support your fight against COVID. I said, again, that's very nice and gracious of you, but that's a subject finance looks after. It's best you talk to finance, and then you can discuss and decide whether India needs it, wants it, what are the terms. I'm always very cautious because many of them always come with a catch or a link, and then we got to know what the link was. He said, Piyush, we want X, Y, Z, this medicines from India. I said, that's fine. You could have just talked to me about it. We are the nodal agency along with MEA and Health who are working on it. I'll be very, very happy. Paracetamol and hydroxychloroquine and all of this is typical what was needed at that point of time. I said, I think we should have all of these readily available. Whatever you require, please send me the mail. This is not linked to any loan, any grant, or any ventilators that you want to give us. We'll be happy to supply you all these medicines. And at the same price that they were being exported before COVID hit the world. Even though it was Germany, a rich country, they could afford it. In fact, almost more than 100 countries, we gave all of these medicines free of charge. India did not profit from the misery that COVID had caused, from the difficulties that many nations across the world were facing because of COVID, because for Prime Minister Narendra Modi, what we have, we share with the world. We believe the world is our family. We believe that our available resources should be shared with our family, should be available for those in need. And that, ladies and gentlemen, defines the Indian way of thinking, the Indian way of working, and the mind of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his government. That is how we think. And I'm delighted that you have chosen for this summit scaling access to ensure health equity. Because very often I keep getting, and since I handle the IP office here, I receive this request very often that we should also allow pharmaceutical companies the ability to have incremental changes to their patents and allow them to have a fresh patent for another long period of time, which we ordinarily, and the students of Ashoka's Law University will probably explain it better than me, we normally understand that as evergreening of patents. It is so sad that just for the profit of a few companies, just for the supernatural profits of a select few companies and possibly their shareholders, the world has to suffer. The world is deprived of quality healthcare, is deprived of equitable healthcare. And I'm glad that the World Health Summit has come to India. In a way, I would request Dr. Tomar to take them around the country, show them the difficulties what many people, many parts of the country, people have to face who cannot afford very expensive healthcare. Show them why Prime Minister Modi has introduced Ayushman Bharat, where today more than 620 million people are eligible for free healthcare, quality free healthcare. Because we sincerely believe nobody should be left wanting when it comes to access to healthcare. It's the world's largest healthcare program, as one of the earlier speakers I think just mentioned. Obamacare failed in America. Ayushman Bharat succeeded in India. Because for us, this was delivered with a passion. It was delivered without any profit motive. It was delivered by people who understood the pain and misery of not having access to healthcare. And therefore, today, it's very appropriate that we are discussing this subject. The Prime Minister is on record, and I'd like to quote him. Our government will keep focusing on healthcare and invest in different aspects of people's well-being. For us, healthcare is not just curing a sick patient. Healthcare is preventive healthcare. Healthcare is the wellness of our citizens. For us, healthcare is not only physical healthcare, it is mental healthcare also. For us, healthcare includes bringing the entire family and societies under the umbrella of a better or happier lifestyle and a better future. You would have seen Prime Minister Modi very often talking about staying fit. A fit India. Why are we running the Fit India movement? Because only when we are fit, only when we keep good health, only when we recognize the value of good health and remaining fit, we will be able to do our job better. We will be able to contribute to the nation's progress. We will be able to contribute to global progress. And it is the strength of 1.4 billion Indians today which has helped India, and particularly our youth. We are one of the youngest large nations on earth today. Our average age is 28.4 years, one of the few young large countries with a young population, expected to remain under 30 for the next 30 years, and expected to continue to be the world's fastest growing economy, contributing today nearly 16% to global growth. Having moved from a fragile 5 economy 10 years ago to the top 5 economies of the world, soon to become the 3rd largest economy, and by 2047 to add another $30 trillion to the $4 trillion economy that we are today. Look at the delta of growth, the delta of opportunity that India offers, from 4 trillion to a $35 trillion economy. And friends, all of this is only possible when each one of you and 1.4 billion Indians are healthy. Healthy in body, healthy in mind. They live in good environment, Swachh Bharat. They all have a proper roof on their head, a good shelter, a proper home with all the facilities, with the toilet, with the kitchen, with cooking gas connection there, with water flowing from a tap, with electricity 24 hours, with road connectivity, a station nearby to connect them to the railways, an airport which can move them across borders to the world. Economic opportunities in their neighborhood through the Make in India program. Startup India for the creators and innovators. Good quality digital connectivity with 5G being rolled out to the length and breadth of the country. It's a holistic vision. It's a vision to care for the entire needs of a human being. In fact, the very ideology of our party in government, the Bharatiya Janata Party leading the NDA government, is centered around the holistic development of a human being. We call that integral humanism. Only 2 days back, Professor, on the 25th, I had the opportunity to share the vision of our ideologue, who had 60 years ago, on the same day, through a series of lectures from 22nd April to 25th April, espoused his ideology of integral humanism, where he had said that capitalism, socialism, communism, the welfare state, all of these work in parts. Look at the human being in silos. It is at that time, 60 years ago, he had espoused the theory of integrated and comprehensive development of the human being and the role of an individual, then his family, then society, the nation, and then the universe, in the collective well-being of the entire world, linking it to Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, the world being our family. And I see Prime Minister Modi implementing that vision, that ideology with which we started. A government which has committed itself to the welfare of the poorest of the poor, of those who are deprived, the marginalized sections of society, those who were left behind in the race of development. When I see that in action, when I see all these various programs coming together so that our children have a better future, they have quality education, they have quality health care, no child ever has to sleep hungry, 800 million people get free food grains month after month after month to make sure nobody ever has to sleep without a full stomach. Food, clothing, shelter. Already 40 million families have received a free home under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. In the next 5 years, another 30 million will receive a free home. Imagine 25% of India's population who are living in the most deplorable conditions will now have a home of their own, a good home, quality home. Water. When we came into government, almost all of rural India didn't have water in their homes. Women had to travel long distances to collect water for their daily needs. It was terrible. And we all know how much disease is caused because of lack of quality water, good water, free-flowing water. Our Jal Shakti mission, Jal Jeevan mission, run by the Jal Shakti Mantralaya, the Jal Jeevan mission has already increased the water from a tap coming to every home from 30 million to 160 million today. Another 2.5 years, every home in India will have water from a tap. Our effort is all the basic needs of a person, and they all ultimately end up with healthcare. If you don't live in a proper home, you are susceptible to all the vagaries of nature. It hurts your health. If you don't have water flowing from a tap 24 hours, it ultimately hurts your health. If the drinking water is not good and clean, I'm told 50-60% of diseases, particularly of the stomach, are all waterborne diseases. I'm not a doctor, I'm a simple little chartered accountant, but that's what the doctors keep telling me. I'm told that very often, not having cooking gas connection at home, the woman of the house is taking in almost 400 cigarettes worth of smoke, which is very detrimental to their health care. Prime Minister Modi has made sure every home in the length and breadth of India will have a cooking gas connection. Those who couldn't afford it got it free of charge. And very often when somebody asks me what is the one program, if you had to choose one program which is closest to your heart, which you believe has been the highest impact in your 11 years in government, when I'm asked that question, Professor and friends, my answer is consistently only one. The fact that 67 years after independence, in 2014, we had 120 million homes which did not have a toilet. 120 million homes, 67 years after independence. They did not have a toilet. Our sisters, our daughters, our mothers had to go to the fields for their daily requirements. If in the day somebody wanted to go to the toilet, they had to face abject indignity. Governments came and went, but nobody cared. Nobody thought of a basic need and its impact on society. Again, I'm told one of the biggest causes of cervical cancer is lack of proper sanitation facilities or lack of proper menstrual health care. Prime Minister Modi allocated resources to make sure every home in the country has a toilet of their own. And to my mind, that was the biggest public service. And it showed the character of the leadership. It showed his sensitivity towards the common man, towards the poor person, towards our sisters and daughters. And it hurt all of us, of course. All of us living in the villages without these facilities, we all suffered. But still, for the woman of the home, I think there could be nothing more indignified than not having a toilet at home. And to my mind, all of these, whether it is the Fit India movement, encouraging children to focus on sports, physical fitness, do yoga. We have taken yoga to the world now. 21st June, the whole world celebrates as International Yoga Day. Again, Germany has helped us maintain Ayurveda. And I think we must together, Germany and India, and if the World Health WHS Academic Alliance can work with us, we could actually together develop scientific evidence supporting homeopathy, Ayurveda, all the alternative and traditional forms of medicine, which could actually provide affordable health care to all those parts of the world which are today suffering for lack of enough healthcare facilities. We in India have almost doubled our medical seats in the last 10 years. We have doubled the medical colleges and plan to further add another 75,000 seats in our medical schools in these next 4 years. We have ambitious plans, but we would like to share our success stories, our efforts, all the work that we have done with the rest of the world. And we'd be very, very happy to ally with you, Professor, in this world of rising costs and diminishing availability of resources. I think the Indian role model can play a role towards global health security. We have tried to attack the problems of health through a root cause analysis, solving the requirements at the root cause, in a way preventing healthcare going out of hand, trying to see if wellness can become available for all the 1.4 billion Indians. And together we can address through our startups, through our innovative talent that the youth have, through our programs that we have implemented, we can address affordability, accessibility, and the quality gaps that healthcare may have both in India and across the world. Let's work together both to improve the healthcare facilities within the country, do an effective gap analysis and come up with programs and solutions so that everybody in India gets high quality healthcare. Let us work together for global clinical trials and research, particularly on traditional medicines. Let us work together to set high standards of safety without compromising on compliances, but yet making it easier to comply with the needs of scientific evidence or needs of ensuring high quality healthcare and medicines. Let us build a workforce, and the world today is starved of good quality workforce in the medical profession, in the nursing profession, technicians. Let's work together to spread knowledge, create good workforce of high quality, and as the Prime Minister says, let's make good health the foundation of every thriving society. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Honorable Minister Sir, for your thought-provoking speech and enlightening us with all what government has done under the able leadership of our Prime Minister, Narendra Modi ji. A big round of applause for the Chief Guest. Can we all stand up and applaud our Honorable Minister? Zordar taliyan for the Honorable Minister. Thank you, sir. Thank you for this, for taking out time from your busy schedule and coming to this valedictory ceremony of World Health Summit Regional Meeting 2025. Now I'd like to invite Dr. Deepak Nathia, the Director International of NIMS University, and also the Organizing Secretary of this World Health Summit Regional Meeting 2025.
So here we come at the end. Honorable Minister Shri Piyush Goyal sir, the dignitaries, alliance members, delegates, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, it is my profound honor and privilege to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of the whole World Health Summit Organizing Committee. First and foremost, I would like to give my thanks to Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji and Government of India, Ministry of External Affairs, for enabling the environment to host this event in India very first time. So thank you so much for that. Very special and heartfelt thanks to Shri Amit Shah ji, our Honorable Home Minister, for his wonderful leadership, inspiring and guidance throughout the strengthening the image of India and success of this World Health Summit meeting in India. I would like to extend my sincere thanks to Piyush Goyal sir as well, the Honorable Minister of Commerce and Industry, whose presence, vision and ideas have beautifully bridged the spirit of One Health and One World, connecting innovation, commerce and global well-being. I would like to especially thanks to Dr. Excel R. Priest as well, Dr. Excel, Carson, Julian, Linda, Frederica, all of you, thank you so much for believing us to host the event here in India for the very first time. Thank you so much, Excel. So I hope the things are is per what you thought of. My special thanks to Dr. Balviraj Tomar sir, the International President of World Health Summit, for his extraordinary vision, untiring leadership and deep commitment to have this event here and to the converting this dream into the resounding success. Sir, your dedication has inspired all of us to push the boundaries and create a summit that will be remembered for the years. So, last but not the least, I'll come to the end. Honorable Minister is having the flight here to Cage. So, I would like to special thanks to my colleague Dr. Sanjay and Anurag sir for creating the scientific agenda so beautiful that halls were full. I mean, the people, those were sitting inside the rooms, and I mean, the same number of people were standing also inside the room, and the total number of people sitting and standing inside the room were roaming around the corridors also. So thank you so much for creating the beautiful agenda, sir. Mr. Ashish Mathur, the Director of Training and Placement at NIMS, and my colleague, thank you so much to you, Mr. Mathur, for outstanding event management, for attention to detail and working behind the scene and making this event so successful. I'm so thankful to all of you people. Those are here, came from 54 countries. I'm grateful to all of you guys. So thank you so much. Anurag and team, Aryan and his team, and all of the people, those are accommodating all of the guests. Thank you so much, guys. You have made it the great event. Finally, my heartfelt thanks to all speakers, chairs, moderators, panelists, partners, volunteers, media, and I mean all the delegates those traveled across the globe. So thank you so much, and big round of applause for all of those came. So together we have created a platform that does not just speak about the health in world, but brings action, innovation, and commitment into reality. So thank you so much, and everyone, thanks to everyone those are present here. Thank you so much. Dhanyavad. Jai Hind. Thank you.
With this, we come to the end of this World Health Summit regional meeting. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, ITC, for serving delicious food to us, to the team of Bharat Mandapam, Mr. Bhatia and the team. Thank you. Thanks a lot.